Yo, what's good with it? Say hey, YouTube. Nova, Nova, Nova. Say hey, YouTube. Nova, Nova. Say hey, YouTube. Hey, girl. Yo, she being mighty rude. Sit, sit in, sit. Y'all wanna know why dogs lick us? It's because y'all know we got bones in us. Yeah, I know the secret. Yeah, I know. Yeah, nigga, you. Yeah, you. You, nigga. YouTube, we back again with another live stream video. If you're new to the channel, make sure you know you stop by for a little bit and just kick it with us. Get some knowledge, because knowledge is infinite. Like I said, if you're new to the channel, welcome. You know, since you're here, you might as well, subscribe, smash that like button, and share this video because I'm not the only one that can spread um awareness on the mindset aspect. You feel me? Cause we can't get nowhere without the mindset. And I'm all about mindset. You know, your mind has to be set on something. You feel me? And that's what it is. I was on her last night dropping some heat as usual. And you know what's crazy? I had came up with um a good podcast name for my podcast. I ain't gonna reveal it yet, but I will soon if you stick with me on this journey of mastering the mindset, mastering ourselves. You feel me? And, we can only do that if we knock out the major distractions, even the minor ones too. But I would say focus on knocking out the minor distractions and then building up to knock out the major distractions. You feel me? Um, what we tend to do as humans is try to tackle big things first when we don't even have the foundation to tackle the big things first, you know? And I think we can only uh tackle the big things first um by cultivating the foundation to tackle the little things first, you know? And I think that's important to know, you know. Start start small and then scale up. And that goes for anything. That goes for breaking any habits, you know. Day by day, you know, if you have a habit that you don't like or that's not aligned with what you desire to become, I would say each day, take it day by day, set a goal for each day to not do that habit, you know. And for example, I could say like, um, say you don't desire to smoke, but you still got that embedded habit in your mind and you want to really stop and say, you wake up, you get a new day, and you start with today and say, I'm not going to smoke for an hour. And then when that hour come up, you say, I'm not going to smoke for another hour. And then when that hour gets up, you're going to say, I'm not going to smoke for another hour. And then next thing you know, the day is over and you didn't smoke the whole day. So, you could do it like that. If you don't want to do it hour by hour, you could do every 3 hours to make it seem fast. Occupy yourself with something. When you want to, dissipate a habit, replace it with a habit that you do want. So say, you desire to be a successful trader, but you still smoke, you know, cultivate the habit of studying the skill of trading and replacing that, you know. So the times that you could be smoking, you could actually be studying, you know, if that makes sense. I hope I, laid that out for you to understand. But like I said yesterday, I was gonna be back, and I'm back, and we talking about wealth file number 7. And if you was watching yesterday, we were talking about wealth file number 6. And if you wasn't able to um, hear what we had to speak about on wealth file number 6, you can either go back and watch the video, and or I could, speak on it briefly. So basically, wealth file number 6 was just speaking about how rich and successful people admire other successful and rich people, and poor people resent other rich and successful people. And when we speaking about rich and poor, we're not talking about money. We talking about the mindset. Because once the mind is fixed, money is just gonna be a byproduct of what comes. Money isn't the sole focus, but the mind should be the sole focus. You feel me? We all love money. We all do. And if you're around people, that say money is not that important, in my honest opinion, I think you shouldn't be around them. Because if money wasn't so important, they wouldn't be working 8 hours a day, 12 hours a day, 2 jobs a day, So it is important to you because you giving up your time. Or if you don't care about your time, I can understand you can give it away for free. But personally, me, I care about my time. My time is valuable and it's limited. So I um am very careful where my time goes and who I spend it with. So money is important, and surround yourself with people that has a strong minded mind and know what they want. Be around people that know what they want. If you know what you want out of life, don't be around somebody that's, and this is just my opinion, this is my opinion. I feel like if you know what you want out of life, you should definitely surround yourself with people that also know what they want. You shouldn't be around people that's trying to figure it out because you are already past that stage and you don't got time to be helping them figure it out, you know. That's just my opinion. But I just had to do that. But more or less to say, let's get the reading. So you're talking about wealth file number 7. Rich people associate with positive, successful people. I'm out of breath. Poor people associate with negative and unsuccessful people. So a little, if you want, you can kind of put that into what I just said. Surround yourself with people that already know what they want. That's to say, rich people associate with positive and successful people. I feel like you're successful when you know what you want. Um, we tend to, you know, let other people, and I'm speaking for me as well. I used to let other people determine what things mean to me, right? I used to use their meanings for what I thought it should have been. That makes sense. Like, for example, with success, I never knew what success was. I only knew what it was by what I was taught or seen what it to be. But we have to have our own definitions of success. Success might be for you is going to the gym every day. Success might be for me is reading a book every day. Success might be for me retire my mom, put my family in position. We all have different definition of success. And I came up with something in my mind and I had wrote it down and it said, don't let other people's determination determine your destination. And what I mean by that, it's just a metaphor. Um, it's hold on, let me catch my breath. I'm out of breath and I'm just having to talk. All right. So basically, what I came up with, I'm gonna say it again. Um, don't let other people's determination determine your destination. And what I mean by that is, don't let other people make you feel what you don't want to feel. If that makes sense. Like, put your own put your own definition on what you think is right. That makes sense. Like, don't let other people's definition define what you want it to mean, right? That makes sense. So don't let anybody's determination determine your destination, meaning your destiny, your address, where you want to go, what you want to see. Don't let them do it because, I used to get caught up in, seeing other people's results and, they telling me, oh, you should do this. Like, I'm doing it because, it's working out. But just because it's working out for them, don't mean it's going to work out for me, right? That's facts. I feel that we, tend to get off balance because we see other people's results and we think we should go be doing what they do. But it might work for them. What work for you might not work for me. Just because I wear a size 10 don't mean you wear a size 10, right? Just because I wear a size medium in shirts don't mean you wear medium in shirt. I could be skinnier and you could be more cut up than me. It might fit me, but it won't fit you. You feel me? So don't let somebody else's determination determine your destination. And I used to do that. I used to be like, damn, like, should I be doing this? Because they keep telling me that I should do this. But it shouldn't be like that. Everybody got their own vision. We still trying to articulate our own visions, right? But it takes time. You feel me? And I had to learn that. Focus on you and do what you gotta do. People don't expect people to believe in you. I can tell you that right now. Some people might be, hurt because family and friends don't believe in them. But it's fine. As long as you got your self belief, that's all that matters because it's in you already to do it. You just gotta do it. You feel me? You gotta be around people that's gonna help you, you know, express that greatness in you. You feel me? I feel like we all try to find things that we want other people to see in us. But I think it's more so that we know it's in us. It's just we not our belief is not as strong to believe that it's really in us. But we know it's in us because when we're around people that help us cultivate it and bring it out, we know it came from out of us. It just had to be brought out. You feel me? So, like I said, let's get into it. My neck hurt. I ain't gonna lie. Hello, can you hear me? Hello, can you hear me? Who's that, Nova? Hello, can you hear me? Who's that, Nova? All right, we back on here. Hello, can you hear me? Who's that, Nova? All right, we back on here. Hello. All right, I just had to make sure. All right, we back on here. All right, I just had to make sure. Cryptocurrency, boys. We about to hop on that. All right, I'm back. So we talking about wealth file number 7. It says rich people associate with positive, successful people. Poor people associate with negative or unsuccessful people. So let's look at the word associate, right? That's the key word. Who are you associating with? Are the people you associate with, helping you get to where you want to go? Or are they stopping you from getting to where you want to go? Ask yourself that. Because association is key. That's the key word, right? It says successful people look at other successful people as a means to motivate themselves. It say they see other successful people as models to learn from, right? You see where it said, I'm gonna reread that one. It said they see other successful people as models to learn from, right? Because let's go back to this. Because there's 4 type of ways that we've been programmed, right? Let me find it for y'all though. Telling y'all, bro, once y'all get the mindset right, it's like you gonna be attracting shit, and you be like, damn, how did this come to me? You feel me? Females will love you better. Females love motherfuckers that's on their shit. Feel me? But the females that's, we're gonna speak about that on another day though. But where is it at? Let me find it real quick, cause this is very imperative that we go back. So look, so let me ask y'all, have y'all heard of something called monkey see, monkey do, right? Right, monkey see, monkey do. It says as kids we learn just about everything from modeling, right? It says although most of us would hate to admit it, there's more than a grain of truth in the old saying, the apple doesn't fall far from the tree. Right? So as kids we learn just about everything from modeling. What do you mean by modeling? Watching other people do other things. Cause look, where's it at? Hold up, hold up. Cause it's we get influenced by programming. No, I'm trying to find it. Let me find it. All right, here we go. So I'm gonna tell y'all, it's we are conditioned in 3 primary ways, right? That's how we're conditioned. Because you gotta understand, if you don't, you gotta understand this. Your thoughts, right? It goes thoughts turn into feelings, feelings turn into action, and action turn into results. So what you think is what you're gonna feel, and what you feel, you're gonna act on that. And what you act on, you're gonna get the result, the outcome. So some of y'all might be thinking like, where do my thoughts come from? Like, I didn't think this, so where did it come from? Your thoughts came from what you were programmed as a child, right? We are all programmed. And that's why our thinking um is linked to the programming that we've been programmed as kids. That's period point blank. It's no more than that. See, one thing I've learned on my journey is that when we get simple answers, we try to find ways to make it harder because we don't believe it was that simple of an answer. But that's the truth, is that we've been programmed and our thoughts come from our programming. And I'm saying this to say we are conditioned in three ways, right? Number one is verbal programming. What did you hear when you were young? That's number one. Number two is modeling. What did you see when you were young? Like what did you see as you were young? That's modeling. And then number three, specific incidents. What did you experience when you were young? So remember, we are conditioned in three primary ways. So let's go back to this, right? Let's go back to this. It's a, where's it at? It's a successful people look at other successful people as a means to motivate themselves. It's a they see other successful people as models, right? So if and so if successful people see other successful people as they models, what is that? What's the result of that? They gonna become more successful because that's their models, and we are conditioned in three primary ways: verbal conditioning, modeling, and then what do we see? What specific incidents do we see? So that goes to say, you know, if you're around people, right, 9 times, 10 times out of 10, you're gonna do what they do because it's modeling, it's what you see, and then you're gonna start picking up what they do, right? So what they say, birds of a feather flock together, right? So modeling, not no pose, not modeling, but like modeling, like what are you presenting in front of my eyes? What are you doing? And we unconsciously pick up the modeling that we've been surrounded around, right? So I hope that makes sense. It says they see other successful people as models to learn from. They say to themselves, if they can do it, I can do it. As I mentioned earlier, modeling is one of the primary ways that people learn. See, it says that we just went back. We did the right thing to go back. Because it says right here, as I mentioned earlier, modeling is one of the primary ways that people learn, right? It says rich people are grateful that others have succeeded before them so that they now have a blueprint to follow that will make it easier to attain their own success. Let's underline that. That's important. See, if you got a roadmap to get from point A to point B and the roadmap helps you avoid all the adversity, all the traffic stops, you would rather take that one, right? I would hope, opposed to the one that you don't have a roadmap and you trying to figure it out on your own, and you already got the roadmap to get there. It's best for you to take the one that's already experienced, right? That makes sense. So it says rich people are grateful that others have succeeded before them so that they now have the blueprint to follow to make it easier to attain their own success, right? So why would rich people be grateful? Because they now have somebody they can model off of so they can follow their blueprint and avoid the mistakes that they made. If we can avoid the mistakes that other people made, that will help us emotionally, physically, mentally. It says, why reinvent the wheel? It said there are proven methods for success that work for virtually everyone who applies them. Consequently, the fastest and easiest way to create wealth is to learn exactly how rich people who are masters of the money game, right? That's simple. It's simple. We we've been programmed, right? Going back to that program word, we've been programmed, and so when we're programmed, we start to think. Think, comes from thoughts, right? So, programming turn into thoughts. Thoughts turn into feelings. Feelings turn into action. Action turn into results. So it says consequently, the fastest and easiest way to create wealth is to learn exactly how rich people who are masters of money play the game, right? But we've been so programmed to look for harder answers when the simple answer is in our face. Because it says right here, the fastest and easiest way to create wealth is to learn exactly how rich people who are masters of money play the game. So it's basically like if you ever, day trade, if you day trade, you follow on the trend. You follow on the masters that's already mastered the money game, right? You follow them. You follow their model, you know? So it's simple. It said the goal is to simply model their inner and outer strategies, right? And you see how he said inner and outer? So like within, we gotta fix, um, not fix, but we gotta, clean the inside of ourselves, meaning we gotta reprogram our mind to think positive, to think success, to think big. We don't think big because we think we not big. That's the only reason. But that thinking comes from programming, you know. Some of y'all might be like, where are these thoughts coming from? Like, why do I think this? It's because what we've been programmed to think, right? Simple. That's it. Where else will my thoughts come from? Let me know in the chat, right? It says the goal is to simply model their inner and outer strategies. I'm gonna write that down real quick. Right, so I'm the type of person that gotta write the whole sentence down, because that's how I get it embedded in my mind. So it says, and when they say the fastest, it don't mean get rich quick, but they're saying the fastest. I spelled that wrong. Hold up. Right, when they're saying the fastest and easiest, not saying the easy route, not saying the fastest get rich quick scheme, but it's saying, to accelerate the way of thinking, right? It says the fastest and easiest way to create wealth is to learn exactly how rich people who are masters of money play the game. And we have to understand this. Like, let me tell y'all a story, like a quick one. Um, One day I'm just, and this is just an example of how to switch your thinking, because I've done it, right? So like um what was I what was I doing? Um, I forgot what I was doing, but like I remember, I think I was talking to somebody. I was talking to somebody, and it just goes to show like how I didn't think these thoughts, but it came from the past programming, right? Cause like when we interact with people or things or anything, we automatically quickly assume that the worst. We assume the worst. And I'm just like, why am I thinking the worst already? And I haven't even met this person, or even I don't even know this person, right? Why am I automatically thinking like this? So all I had to do was just take control instantly before that negative thought consumed my mind. Because if I would have let that negative thought consume my mind, I promise you, I would have. They would have seen the anxious on my face, the fear on my face, the the uncomfortableness on my face. You feel me? We when we um approach approach thoughts, not when thoughts approach us and they don't align with what we're doing in that moment, instantly take control and think the best. What if, because like what we do is we start something and then we be like, what if this could go wrong? We asking the wrong questions. What if we could say, what if we switch the thinking and say, what if this could go right? Where am I going to move when this goes right? Where would I be driving when this goes right? What if this is the best conversation this person ever had because of me? What if you made this person feel comfortable because of me? What if, this is the best time this person have ever spent because of me? Reprogramming my thoughts to think the best. Because instantly we think, oh, this person didn't probably like this because of me, or what if I didn't speak very well because of me, or this switching the thinking process, right? Because we scare ourselves, period, point blank, right? I just wanted to share that. Just switch the way you think. That's all you gotta do instantly. When a thought comes and you aware of it, and you can only switch a thought that you don't like if you're aware of it. You got to be aware of it first. If you're not aware of it, then it's gonna consume you, and then you probably wonder like, why do you feel like this? Because this thought that you wasn't aware of came upon you. So it says, going back to this, the fastest and easiest way to create wealth is to learn exactly how rich people who are masters of money play the game. Right? That's it. So you gotta learn. That's like if you want to be a boxer. You gotta learn. You gotta study Mayweather, right? You gotta learn how he played the game. If you want to be wealthy, you gotta study how wealthy people make money, keep money, and invest money. And the number three is the most important one. You gotta see how they invest money, right? So that's that. If you, I'm not, supporting this, but if you want to be a drug dealer, you gotta study how drug people move, But I'm not saying be one, but if you want to be something, study the people that's already masters at that and then be it. Follow what they do, you know? So it says, the goal is simply to model their inner and outer strategies. It just makes sense. If you take the exact same actions and have the exact same mindset, chances are good you will get the same exact results. Period, point blank. Because it says right here, if you take the exact same actions of the wealthy people and have the exact same mindset of the wealthy people, chances are good you will get the same exact results as wealthy people. That's what I did, and that's what this entire book is about. It says, contrary to the rich, when poor people hear about other people's success, they often judge them, criticize them, mock them, and try to pull them down to their own level. How many of you, right, know people like this? How many of you know family members like this? The question is, how can you possibly learn from or be inspired by someone you put down? Let me read that again. How can you possibly learn from or be inspired by someone you put down? Whenever I'm introduced to an extremely rich person, I create a way to get together with them. I want to talk to them, learn how they think, exchange contacts. Listen to what he said. He said, I want to learn. No, he says, I want to talk to them, comma, and learn how they think. Because rich people and poor people think differently. And when I say rich and poor, I'm talking about mindsets, not money. It says, I want to talk to them, learn how they think, exchange contacts, and if we have other things in common, possibly become personal friends with them, right? It says, by the way, if you think I'm wrong for preferring to be friends with rich people, perhaps you would rather I pick friends who are broke. I don't think so. As I mentioned before, energy is contagious, and I have no interest in subjecting myself to theirs. I was recently doing a radio interview, and a woman called with an excellent question. This is what the woman said. What do I do if I'm positive and want to grow, but my husband is a downer, right? Let me read that again. This woman called on the radio and said, what do I do if I'm positive and want to grow, but my husband is a downer? Do I leave him? Do I try to get him to change? What? I hear this question at least 100 times a week when I'm teaching our course. Almost everyone asks the same question. What if the people I'm closest to aren't in personal growth and even put me down for it, right? We all probably encounter people that, don't want to grow, you know, and you're in your area where you want to grow. So just listen. I'm going to reread this again. It say, almost everyone asks the same question. What if the people I'm closest to aren't into personal growth and even put me down for it? Here's the answer I gave the woman on the call. What I tell people at our courses and what I'm suggesting to you. First, don't bother trying to get negative people to change or come to the course. That's not your job. Your job is to use what you've learned to be better yourself. Let me read that again. It says, first, don't bother trying to get negative people to change or come to the course. That's not your job. Your job is to use what you've learned to better yourself in your life. Be the model, be successful, be happy. Then maybe, and I stress maybe, they'll see the light. That's good advice. That's great advice. I'll be right back. drink. Don't mind me. I'm using my niece cup. Right? So for people that's out there that's like, my friend don't want to change, like how can I get them to change? It says right here, don't bother trying to get negative people to change. That's not your job. Your job is to use what you've learned to better yourself, right? They don't say yourself and them. It says yourself in your life. Be the model, be successful, be happy. And then maybe they'll see the light and want some of it. So keep doing what you're doing. Don't stop doing what you're doing just because they not changing. Because maybe they will see one day, right? That's your answer for all the people that has wondered. Like, we tend to feel bad because nobody's changing and we the only one that's changing. Because I used to feel bad for myself because I see me changing and, understanding myself and, learning about myself and attaining knowledge and stuff. And I used to be like, damn, like, why they not doing this? Like, you feel me? Why they still negative? But it's not my job to change them. Because now, what I'm doing is giving them my energy. And I'm not going to have nothing left. You feel me? So it says, again, energy is contagious. I didn't even read that part, and I just said that. It says, again, energy is contagious. Darkness dissipates in light. Let me say that again. Darkness dissipates in light. Dissipate means like go away. Nova. It says darkness dissipates in light. It says people actually have to work hard to stay dark when light is all around them. Damn. Damn. People actually have to work hard to stay dark when light is all around them. Damn. That's deep. That's crazy. Why would you want to work hard to stay dark when light is all around you? right? I had to write that down because that was good. It says people actually have to work hard to stay dark when light is all around them. Your job is simply to be the best you can be. That's your job, that's my job. Our job is not to change people. Our job is to inspire people and, to uplift people, you know, not to change them. That's like trying to force somebody to change clothes and they don't want to change clothes. It says your job is simply to be the best you can be. If they choose to ask your secret, tell them. It says second, keep in mind another principle that we feature in our wizard training, which is a course about manifesting what you want while staying calm, centered, and peaceful. It states everything happens for a reason, and that reason is there to assist me. It says, yes, it's much more difficult to be positive. It's much more difficult to be positive and conscious around people and circumstances that are negative, but that's your test. Ooh, that's why you gotta read books more than 2 times, cause you might miss what you know. It said it's much more difficult to be positive and conscious around people and circumstances that are negative, but that's your test. Just as steel is hardened in the fire, right? If you can remain true to your values while others around you are full of doubt and even condemnation, you'll grow faster and stronger, right? Let me reread that. It says, if you can remain true to your values while others are full of doubt and even condemnation, you'll grow faster and stronger. So y'all might be like, how can I, do this? You have to be aware first. Awareness is the first step of change. You can go back to that, right? Because there's 4 levels of change. It's awareness, understanding, reconditioning, and reprogramming in that order. In that order. We're gonna go back to it. It says there are 4 key elements of change. The first element of change is awareness. You can't change something unless you know it exists, right? So you can't defeat what you can't define. Basically, you can't beat up if you don't know what to beat up. You feel me? So you gotta gain awareness of it. So it's 4 elements of change. The second element is understanding. By understanding where your way of thinking originates, you can recognize that it has come from outside you. Programming. The third element of change is disassociation. Once you realize this way of thinking isn't you, you can separate yourself from it and choose in the present whether to keep it or let it go. We got to understand that we was taught to be this person, right? We learned to become who we are, right? And if you want to become a better version of you, because the version you are is not serving you, unlearn who you are. Simple. The fourth element of change is reconditioning, right? So it's 4. So it says, also remember that nothing has meaning except for the meaning we give it. William Shakespeare said that, right? So let me read that again. Nothing has meaning except for the meaning we give it. Recall in part 1 of this book, we discuss how we usually end up identifying with or rebelling against one or both of our parents, depending on how we frame their actions. From now on, I want you to practice reframing other people's negativity as a reminder of how not to be. And that helped me when I read this book for the first time. Instead of judging people, for their actions, just simply say, or reframe your thinking to say, this is who I don't want to be. Don't say it out loud, but or don't make a face when you do it to yourself, but just, you know, be aware of be aware of you saying that this is who I don't want to be. This is the action I don't want to take, instead of judging them, because people are going to be people at the end of the day. Ain't nobody perfect, but we can become the greatest version we want to become. So it says, from now on, I want you to practice reframing other people's negativity as a reminder of how not to be. If you see somebody arguing, this is who I don't want to be. The more negative they are, the more reminders you have about how ugly that way of being really is. I'm not suggesting you tell them this. Like I just said, don't tell them this, but do it without, you know, judging them. Do it without criticizing them, right? Just do it without condemning them for who they are, right? It says, for if you do begin to judge, criticize, and put them down for who they are and what they do, then you are no better than them. That's why I don't judge. Because I feel like when you judge somebody, you are on the other side bringing yourself down. You are no better than them, like he just said, right? Worst comes to worst. If you just can't handle their non-supportive energy anymore, if it's bringing you down to a point where you're not able to grow, you may have to make some courageous decisions about who you are and how you want to live the rest of your life. I'm not suggesting you do anything rash, but I, for one, will never live with a person who is negative and poo-poo by poo-poo my desire to learn and grow, be it personally, spiritually, or financially. I wouldn't do that to myself because I respect myself and my life, and I deserve to be as happy and successful as possible. The way I figure it out, there are over 6.3 billion people in the world, and there's no way I'm going to saddle myself with a downer. Either they move up or I move on. Period, point blank. Life is good when you get the knowledge, because knowledge, it just free you. It's like once you have knowledge, I feel like it's no burdens on you. It's no stress, none of that. I feel like people are stressed because they don't know what they want or know they self. I'm not saying I know myself all the way, but I know I'm learning why I do things, and that's the start. It says again, energy is contagious. Either you affect people or you infect people. So either you affect people or you infect people. Ooh, I like that. Hey, yo, I got some great books on the way. Like, I got some now that I'm gonna read, but, bro, we got some good books on the way. It's gonna be good. And, like I said in the book, don't force negative people to change. You know, don't force it. They either gonna see the light or they gonna work harder to stay dark. Either one. Either way, do it for you. That's why I love waking up every day. Because I get to continue to learn and to grow and to understand myself and to build and to lead. Like all that, oh my God. Who wouldn't want to wake up to that? You feel me? That's why I love life. Even though life be confusing, you know, I'm still gonna figure it out. So it says, energy is contagious. Either you affect people or you infect people. What do you want to do? Do you want to infect people or do you want to infect people? Right? It says the same holds true the opposite way around. Either people affect you or you affect. No. It says the same holds true the opposite way around. Either people affect or infect you. Let me ask you a question. Would you hug and hold a person you knew had a severe case of the measles? Personally, I wouldn't hug nobody that had the measles. It says most people would say, no way, I don't want to catch the measles. Well, I believe negative thinking is like having measles of the mind. Instead of itching, you get bitching. Instead of scratching, you get bashing. Instead of irritation, you get frustration. Now, do you really want to be close to people like that? So, measles is like a negative mind. You wouldn't hug somebody that had the measles, right? You wouldn't. It says, well, I believe negative thinking is like having measles of the mind. Instead of itching, you get bitching. Instead of scratching, you get bashing. Instead of irritation, you get frustration. You wouldn't want to be around that. It says, I'm sure you've heard the saying birds of a feather flock together. Do you know that most people earn within 20% of the average income of their closest friends? It says that's why you would better watch whom you associate with and choose whom you spend your time with carefully. Let me show y'all something real quick. I'm gonna bring this out for y'all real quick. Just to show y'all that association is not good, you know, bad association. Because it says right here, core, core, how do you say this scripture? Corinthians. I think this says Corinthians. Corinthians, right? So we said we on Corinthians um, chapter 15, right? Chapter 15, verse 33. Corinthians. Because it says right here, it says, do you know that most people earn within 20% of the average income of their closest friends? That's why you would better watch whom you associate with. Now watch this. Listen to what Corinthians chapter 15, verse 33 says. I'm going to read it. I brought out the scripture today, boy. It says, do not be misled. Don't be misled. Bad associations spoil useful habits. So what is that saying? Like, what do you mean? Why did you bring this out to show us this? Do not be misled. Bad association spoils useful habits. Come to your senses in a righteous way and do not practice sin, for some have no knowledge of God. I am speaking to move you to shame. So why did you bring that out? I brought it out to show y'all that association is very important. It's very important who you associate with because as it says, bad association misleads you, right? And it says right here, did you know that most people earn within 20% of the average income of their closest friends? That's why you would better watch whom you associate with and choose whom you spend your time with carefully. Some of us might feel bad because we don't, hang with the same old friends, but we gotta understand, were they good association, were they bad association? You gotta ask that. It says, from my experience, rich people don't just join the country club to play golf. They join to connect with other rich and successful people. There's another saying that goes, it's not what you know, it's who you know. It's not what you know, it's who you know. Right? As far as I'm concerned, you can take that to the bank. And sure, if you want to fly with eagles, don't swim with ducks. Mm. If you want to fly with eagles, don't swim with ducks. Mm. That's crazy. Gotta write that one down. Ugh. If you want to fly with eagles, don't swim with ducks. I love reading, y'all. People don't understand why I read, but I guess they're gonna see the byproduct in due time, It's all good. Damn. Remember that if you want to fly with eagles, don't swim with ducks. I make it a point to only associate with the successful people. Telling y'all, bro. Telling y'all, bro. You better watch who y'all associating with. I make it a point to only associate with successful, positive people, and just as importantly, I disassociate from negative ones. It says I also make it a point to remove myself from toxic situations. I see no reason for infecting myself with poisonous energy. Among these, I would include arguing, gossiping, and backstabbing. I will also include watching mindless television unless you use it for specifically as a relaxation strategy instead of your sole form of entertainment. When I watch TV, it's usually sports. First, because I enjoy seeing masters at anything. Let me reread that. First, because I enjoy seeing masters at anything at work, or in this case, play. And second, because I enjoy listening to the interviews after the games. I love listening to the mindset of champions, and to me, anyone who has made it as far as the big leagues in any sport is a champion. Any athlete at that level has out competed tens of thousands of other players to get there at all, which makes each of them incredible to me. I love hearing their attitude when they win. It was a great effort from the entire team. We did well, but we still have improvement to make. It goes to show you that hard work pays off. I also love listening to their attitude when they lose. It's only one game. We'll be back. We're just going to forget about this one and put our focus on the next game. See that mindset right there? We're going to forget about this one and put our focus on the next game. Because if we dwell on what we lost, you know, our attention is only going to be on that. So now, where that attention is, it could have been on something that we can gain from. That makes sense. So I'm saying that if we lose, don't focus on the loss. Focus on what you can build now. Use that loss as a lesson. Use that loss as a roadmap to not do that again. Use that use that loss as a, a model. You feel me? It says we'll go back and talk about where we can do better and then do whatever it takes to win. During the '04 Olympic Games, uh, a Canadian in the reigning world champion in the 100-meter hurdles was heavily favored to win the gold medal. In the final race, she hit the first hurdle and fell hard. She wasn't able to complete the race. Extremely upset, she had tears in her eyes as she laid there in bewilderment. She had prepared for this moment 6 hours a day, every day, for the week, for the past 4 years. The next morning, I saw her news conference. I wish I had taped it. It was amazing to listen to her perspective. She said something to the effect of, I don't know why it happened, but it did, and I'm going to use it. I'm going to focus even more and work even harder for the next 4 years. Who knows what my path would have been had I won? Maybe it would have dulled my desire. I don't know, but I don't know. No, it says, I don't know, but I do know that now I'm hungrier than ever. I'll be back even stronger. As I've heard her speak, all I could say was, wow, you can learn a lot from listening to champions. Rich people hang around with winners. Poor people hang around with losers. Why? It's a matter of It's a matter of comfort. It says, rich people are comfortable with other successful people. They feel fully worthy of being with them. Poor people are uncomfortable with highly successful people. They're either afraid they'll be rejected or feel as if they don't belong. To protect itself, the ego then goes into judgment and criticism, right? So it says to protect the ego goes into judgment and it criticizes, right? It says if you, listen, if you want to get rich, you will have to change your inner blueprint. What do you mean by inner? Your way of thinking, your way of feeling, your way of acting, the way you move, the way you walk, the way you talk, the inner dialogues, not the outer. You can't succeed outwardly if you didn't succeed inwardly, right? Inwardly. If you want to get rich, you will have to change your inner blueprint to fully believe you are every bit as good as any millionaire or multimillionaire out there. Like I said, I highly believe that I am already a millionaire because of the habits and the thinking habits. And it's just the inner dialogue that people don't see that I feel that I have. You know, it says, I'm shocked in my seminars when people come up to me and ask if they can touch me. They say, I've never touched a multimillionaire before. I'm usually polite and smile, but in my mind, I'm saying, get a freaking life. I'm no better or different from you. And unless you start to understand that, you'll stay broke forever. It says, my friends, it's not about touching millionaires. It's about deciding that you are just as good and worthy as they are, and then acting like it. My best friend, my best advice is this. If you really want to touch a millionaire, become one. Mm. My best advice is this. If you really want to become, no, my best advice is this. If you really want to touch a millionaire, become one. I hope you get the point. Instead of mocking rich people, model them. Mm. What does he mean by model? Do what they do. Ugh. why I love reading. It give you insight that no other thing would give you. You know, God give you insight too. You know, we ain't gonna ignore the Lord Himself. Instead, so it says, instead of mocking rich people, model them. Instead of shying away from rich people, get to know them. Instead of saying, wow, they're so special, say, if they can do it, I can do it. Eventually, if you want to touch a millionaire, you'll be able to touch yourself. And that's the end of that. This was definitely an insightful live, you know. I think so. Uh, Let me know in the chat how y'all feel about this. About the knowledge that you obtained from this today. I'm gonna go over some notes that I took. It says, and when I say this part right here, the fastest and easiest way to create wealth is to learn exactly how rich people who are masters of money play the game. And when we speak about fastest and easiest, we're not saying a get rich quick scheme or a easiest route. We saying the thinking dialogue, right? Um, not the thinking dialogue, but the inner thinking. You know, learn from the people that's already doing what you want to do. My second one says dark dissipates in light. You know, we've read that dark people really try hard to stay in the dark when light is surrounded around them. It says right here, people actually have to work hard to stay dark when light is all around them. It says energy is contagious. Either you affect people or you infect people, right? If you want to fly with eagles, don't swim with ducks. You know, associate with people that's successful, right? Instead of mocking rich people, model them. Um, that's it for tonight. You know, continue to enhance your mindset, bro, and continue to, surround yourself with people that's great at what you want to do. You know, if you got a friend that's great at communication and you scared to communicate, surround yourself with him, because eventually you're going to be able to communicate with him, right? Or not with just him, just more people in life. Um, if you're around people that you know is positive, you know, surround yourself with them more, you know. So that's what I tell y'all. I'll see y'all on the next video.